Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of the Prepare to Prosper podcast, where we prepare today to prosper tomorrow. And today we're going to go over and discuss water, everything you need to know about water for preparedness. We started last week with just going over what our 7 basic survival needs are, which, quick recap: water, food, shelter, security, power, heat, and health. And starting today and then over the next 6 weeks, we're going to discuss those 7 needs and how we need to prepare for them at every level, from small everyday kind of emergencies clear up to bigger emergencies. So you'll hear a lot in the survival industry and stuff online and stuff like that, people saying you can go 3 days without water. Well, that's true. You're going to have like really bad headaches, nausea. You'll have trouble thinking and making decisions. You'll get tired easy. You even have trouble maintaining your body temperature if it's cold or too hot. And it can lead to other problems way before you get to that 3 days. So let's try not to do that. Let's not say, oh, we don't need to worry about water that much because we can go 3 days without it. Well, that's true at the extremes. That's not a good plan. So how much water do we actually need every day? A lot of people say just 1 gallon a day, but that includes drinking, going to the bathroom, cleaning, cooking food. 1 gallon stretched over those 4 things, I don't think that's not gonna cover it. But it's really like 3 to 5 gallons a day, and you can start estimating this and keeping track of how much water you actually use for things, and get a better idea on what that number is for you and your family. The average person, I should have looked this up before the video, but it's tons of gas. It's like 100 gallons a day, including showering and all that stuff. You don't need quite that much, but to maintain normalcy, you need 3 to 5 gallons is the bare minimum to live not even a comfortable life, just to keep clean and well fed and well hydrated. So if you want to know how much water you should drink every day, this is under normal circumstances. When you're working hard, you're hot, anything like that, this number is going to go up. But basically what you need to do is take your body weight. So for me, that's 100 pounds or 200 pounds. Divide that by 2, so that's 100 pounds, and then drink that in ounces. So I would drink 100 ounces of water. Now, that's 100 ounces of water. There's 30 ounces in a quart, 30 ounces in a liter. They're basically the same thing. Well, 32 ounces in a quart. A little bit more, a little bit less in a liter. Close enough the same. If we just say 3 liters or 3 quarts, that's like 96 or 99 liters. No, 30. 96 liters or ounces. That's close enough to 100. So 3 liters is what the number I go with. So like for a hydration pack in my bug out bag or anything like that, I want a 3-liter one if I can get one. I have one that's only 1 liter that I use when I'm doing yard work, but 3 liters is a good one to have. Good size to have. And remember, you're going to drink more if it's hot. So let's talk about like your everyday water usage. So you can go to the faucet and get it. A lot of places where you work, you'll have a water cooler or something like that. For our family, we try to carry LifeStraw brand water bottles. They have a LifeStraw filter built into them. You can fill them up. I filled them up out of rivers and lakes and stuff like that before. They're pretty good. You could filter muddy water through them. They're going to clog the filter faster and taste like mud, but they're good. And the reason we carry them every day is because we're busy, active people, so we're always running around places. It's nice to have a water bottle. If I'm at work, I don't want to go to the break room every time I'm thirsty. I want something right there. So I have a water bottle. Might as well put a LifeStraw filter in it and have those. Now, the one problem we have, and we've tried to be more disciplined about this, it doesn't work. We tend to accidentally leave them in the car in the winter, and the inside of that filter will freeze and could crack and let stuff through. So what we're going to do is use the LifeStraw filters every day and keep using that filter even if we leave it and it may be cracked, and then keep in our everyday carry bags and our bug out bags a second filter to put in there. That way, if we are in an emergency situation, we have to drink water we're not sure of, we have a brand new filter we know will work. And that also means if our filter is getting old and near the end of its life, starting to get clogged, we have a brand new one ready to go. For bug out bags and stuff like that, I also like the Sawyer Squeeze. It comes with a little bag, and it's a filter that screws on top of a bag, and you can drink right through it. I don't like the old school LifeStraws where you had to like stick your face down in a river and suck up that way. Because one, you can get wet. Two, you can, or you have to stick by the water. You can't take the water with you. And another advantage of the Sawyer Squeeze style, or any of the Sawyer water filters that are like that, is the threads on them are the same as any like Mountain Dew or Pepsi bottles. So you can pick up those if you find them, fill them with contaminated water, and take them with you and screw that filter on there and have more water. I also use, that's why I said I'm pretty sure it's the Squeeze, has on each end a place where you can hook tubing, so you could drink right out of a stream if you needed to. Or I cut the water lines on a lot of my hydration pack and put that filter in line, and then throw with the bladder the bottle that comes, the collapsible bottle that comes with the Squeeze. That way I can fill my water bladder up with contaminated water, potentially contaminated water, and drink right through it, and I can be hands free. But I have a backup source built into that, and I usually, and then, so if the bladder breaks, I can screw that other one in there and still suck through the straw. And if that filter gets clogged, like I said, I will have the LifeStraw with me as an additional filter. Also, I carry potable aqua tablets. You can get them two styles. One, they're like in a foil pack that you punch out and drop in your water. Also, they have the little glass bottles you drop the little tablets in. Those I've used lots of times in scouts, backpacking, and camping and stuff where there wasn't any good water before cheap, affordable filters became available, and they taste awful, but they are a great backup. The neutralizer helps make them taste better. And another trick is to take like the little tea packets or Kool-Aid or lemonade or whatever, and dump them in after you put the potable aqua in there. Let it do its thing to kill the bacteria. Use the neutralizer, let that do its thing, and then you can dump those Kool-Aid packets in there. It'll still, because if you just drink right from those chlorine tablets, it tastes like you're drinking a swimming pool. If you add the Kool-Aid to it, it tastes like you're drinking a Kool-Aid flavored swimming pool. So it's a little bit better. So that's for like bug out bags and everyday situations. So let's go like longer term stuff. So water storage. So the easiest way to do it is I use the half gallon pure tea, Lipton pure tea, whatever they sell at Walmart. If I buy one of those, we keep the half gallon thing, rinse it out, fill it full of water. Yeah, that water over time is going to taste like the plastic bottle. It's going to taste bad. You don't have to do anything to treat it as long as the water coming out of your faucet is good. Some people put a drop of bleach in there. If you want to, if that makes you feel better, go ahead. I think they're fine just the way they are, coming out of the water coming out of the faucet. I've never had a problem with them. But like I said, eventually those things will start to taste bad. You don't want to use, you won't like drinking out of it, but it's nice to have. And let's say the tornado comes through, wipes out and part of your town, you can take those and give them out and hand them to people, and it doesn't really cost you anything. If you wanted to give out cases of bottled water, that costs a lot of money. But we also store cases of bottled water, so so when we go camping or out on an adventure for a day or something like that, we'll throw a bunch of the water in the freezer and a bunch of water in the refrigerator, and we'll fill the cooler with that along with our food. and that will help keep the food cold longer, even with the ice in there. So we just keep a couple of extra cases of water around so we can use them for our event, going out family time and camping trips and stuff like that. Uh, Picnics, anything we'd use a cooler for. But then we can also take use them in an emergency if we need to, instead of just buying them right before the trip. They also make these bags for your bathtub. So, like, if you know a big storm's coming or something like that, or the power's going to be out for a while, or something that's going to disrupt your water, you can put these bags in your bathtub and fill them up. And bathtub holds like 30, 50 gallons. So you can get these bags that are the size of your bathtub that hold all that water. Uh, the problem with those is once you use them, you can drain the water out, but there's no way to get all the water out. So you really can't fold them up and put them back in the box and save them again for later. They're kind of a one-time use thing. They're better than nothing. We don't have any, but a lot of people do like them. I just think they're too expensive to keep around. We might buy one later, eventually. Something that I really like that we're going to do more of is buy what are called aqua bricks. Now you can find like water cubes, I think is the other brand. They hold a little bit more, but I don't like how the handle attaches. And I've seen lots of videos where that handle will eventually wear out and fall out. They're big, like the aqua cube is like 300 or like 3 gallons. The aqua or water cube, I think it's called. But anyway, the aqua brick that we use is only 2.5 gallons, but has a handle on each end molded into the plastic. So that handle's never going to fail on you. We usually only put 2 gallons ish into it, and right now they're being stored outside. We're going to put them in the crawl space, and we need more of those, but we got 2 right now. You can buy filters for them. We're going to buy one, and you can buy foot pumps for it, so you can throw like a line into a stream and pump it with your foot and fill those up through the filter and take it with you. Or you can fill it with the potentially contaminated water and drink it through your LifeStraw. Those are great. Like I said, we need more. They stack like Legos, so they're really secure, safe way to stack them, and easier to move. I've seen online people trying to stack in like their basement and stuff. They'll use, or to try to store water, they'll use barrels. But the problem with storing in a barrel is that thing weighs hundreds of pounds. You can't take it with you. You can't move it. They're very awkward, hard to use. So I prefer spending more money but having something portable and easier to use and get at. Also, we have, and it's part of our everyday use, but it's also for emergencies too. We have a Alexa Pure. So Berkey's the big brand name. We have an Alexa Pure. It's significantly cheaper, basically the same filters. And you pour water in the top from the sink, or you can use water from your pool or a stream. Just if you're using water from an unknown source, this goes for all filters. Run it through a bandana or something first to try to catch as much of the dirt as possible so it doesn't clog your filter. But anyway, you pour your water in the top and it sucks through the filter, and then it just has a spigot on the bottom you fill a glass with. We have the kids as part of their daily chores. When they clean the kitchen, they dump a gallon of water in there. So we always have at least a gallon of water stored. That ours holds 2 gallons. We try to keep it a little bit fuller than that, but as long as the kids are doing their chores, there's at least a gallon in it. And that one is long. If we need to, we can fill it up from the stream across the street or out of our swimming pool and keep it full. Like the swimming pool during the summer. And keep that thing full, and it'll slowly filter all day long and give us plenty of water for cooking and cleaning and drinking. They're kind of expensive. They're an investment, but I think they're worth it. And they're great to use on a daily basis. It makes your water cleaner, healthier, tastes better. And if you do have any contaminations before that boil water advisory happens, or before you get around to testing your well, which you should do periodically, you're catching all that stuff before it gets into your body. speaking of wells, we have a well. That's where we get most of our water from. Something that we are planning on doing in the future is to come up with a backup plan. You can run your well off of a big generator. That's a pretty big investment that we don't have the money to make right now. What we want to do is build an airlift pump. Now, this will cost more money than the big generator, but an airlift pump is a little pump, like an air compressor, that pumps air down into your well, and then you have some plumbing bits in there. You can look them up on YouTube. But pumps air down in the bottom of down into your well underwater, and that air tries to escape back up the outlet pipe. And when it comes up the outlet pipe, it pushes water out with it, and then that goes into a storage tank. And then from your storage tank, or between your storage tank and your pressure tank, that's where you put in a high pressure pump that kicks on like normally your well pump would, that boosts up your house pressure and fills your pressure tank up. That's a little complicated. Like I said, there's lots of YouTube videos on airlift pumps and how to put them in. You can also go solar, but again, that's a big giant pump that draws a lot of power. When we put the airlift pump on, one of the first things we want to be able to run off of it, the solar, or after we put in the well pump, our airlift pump, we also want to put solar in the house. One of the first things we want to solar power is the airlift pump, along with the freezers and refrigerators. We can get by without power on most of the other things. The furnace is on that list too. If we can't get enough for lighting or the TV, we're fine. We just want to make sure that solar can run the essentials. We'll talk about more of that in a couple weeks when we get to power. Having a big giant water tank, you can buy them at like Tractor Supply and Rural King, places like that, is great if you have a place to put them. We want one. Eventually, you can get them in like thousands of gallons. I haven't looked much into how to store water through winters, because we get winters where it'll be below freezing for a month. Will that crack? Do we have to drain it all out beforehand? I don't know. Another water solution, and we're probably going to go with this summer, is hooking to the gutters some IBC totes that provide water for us and for our animals too. Right now it's just quail and the cats. But we want chickens, we'll eventually rabbits, so we want some water storage for them that will also double as water storage for us. And then, of course, like I mentioned, we already have a pool. Pool's great for water storage, so you can use it for exercise, entertainment, fun, all that stuff. But it's also a source of water storage. And the water right out of the pool, if you run it through, make sure you don't have any leaves or dirt in it. You can use it to flush your toilet, and then all you gotta do is boil it or run it through a filter, and you can use it for cooking, cleaning, drinking, those kind of things. So I hope that gives you an idea. You can figure out how much water, or it gives you an idea of water storage solutions. So what we should all do for our homework is figure out how much water we need on a daily basis, and then start. What is it going to be our EDC, our everyday solution for water storage? Like the LifeStraw bottles we carry and our Alexa Pure that we have. And then start going up from there. How can I store more and more water for my bug out bag? How can I store more water in like old pop bottle, like 2-liter bottles and old tea bottles, and then build up your water storage slowly over time into bigger and bigger containers for longer and longer disasters. So that's the homework for this week, is for us to come up with that plan. So write out your water storage plan, again, for all those different levels, from everyday carry, bug out situations, and then or short-term emergencies, and then longer and longer-term emergencies. And thank you for joining me on the Prepare to Prosper podcast. Remember, we prepare today, prosper tomorrow.